Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Today's khutbah at Masjid an-Nur was kind of a follow-up to last week's, but it uses two uh, examples of two comparisons that Allah in the Qur'an makes to us, but in a way that you might not expect, or some who might be hearing this for the first time might not expect. And some of it is from hadith too, but basically it's how we need to be constant in our practice of Islam, constant in our ibadah or worship of Allah, constant in doing good deeds. And in the Quran there are ayat where Allah says that even his creatures, though not that are not human, worship him, but in ways that we can never understand, because Allah creates in the way he wills, and he gives them what they're supposed to do. He puts it in them, and we have our free will, but yet we do have a divine decree from Allah. But basically he talked about, the first one would be the ants. He said creatures as small as ants, you know, some of them are really, really small, not much bigger than a fruit fly. And you know how small those are. But he said they even worship Allah. And then there's a story where a column of ants was out on its daily foray into their territory, either to look for food or to patrol their territory, whatever ant this particular group of ants did. And then one of the earlier leaders of believers, this was before Muhammad's time, Suleiman, and he was out with his group walking, or some might have been on their camels or horses or whatever, but anyway, as the story goes, some of the ants at the edge of their column heard the approach of humans and their animals, that accompany them, and Allah says that this particular ant communicated with the others to get out of the way, or that they would get stepped on by the humans and their animals. So basically, Allah was warning them to get out of the way of the humans. But he says that this is, and then the ants moved off. The ants moved away from the path of the humans that were going across their territory, and so none of them got stepped on. And then, but he said that the ants worship Allah in their own way. They do what Allah tells them to do. They live according to what they were created for. And then he said in another part, the mountains do their thing in, they seem, to us, they may look like that they're just rock doing nothing but taking up space. But in actuality, Allah says, or I think this is a hadith, I'm not sure, but someone can elaborate on whom. There are those out there who might know this better than I would. I'm just summarizing it from the Imam. But he said if if you put, if a mountain were to be put on top of the Qur'an, the mountain would just fall apart, because it has that much respect for the Qur'an. And he's said that whenever people do Hajj, they're doing their tawaf or circumambulation around the Kaaba, where they're walking around the Kaaba saying labbaik Allahumma labbaik, and whatever else they say, that although the people might not hear it, the mountains and the hills around Mecca are echoing it, are saying it too. They are glorifying Allah, they are praising Allah, joining the people in their worship. And then he said that that also trees do the same thing. Trees make sujud, but because to us they look like they're just standing there, maybe branches waving in the wind, but Allah says that the trees make sujud in a way that we could not understand, that we cannot see it because we have a limited perception. But they do it in the way that Allah created them to do that. They worship Allah. Everything that Allah created worships Him in a way that we can never know. And that something as insignificant as an ant can be a worshiper of Allah, then how much more can we do that? How much more can we strive to improve ourselves, to better our worship of Allah, to call people to the truth? And speaking for myself as well, I'm learning as I go. I'm taking as much as I can from what I hear, and I'm trying to apply it. But I'll get there. I'm only human. I've only been Muslim 2 years as of today, and so this is a reminder to myself as well. So this is something I had not heard before, and so I was happy to hear that. And so I understand it a little, but I will not fully understand it until the day of judgment, when everything becomes known. And but that's basically what today's khutbah was about. So I hope it's short but sweet. I hope this is of benefit to you. And as always, anything that I say wrong is totally my bad. I can't blame Mila. Anything that I say is good comes from Allah, because Allah is the source of all good. So until next time, I'm going to come back with something else. Thanks for watching. Assalamu alaikum, do widzenia, and mia's for Mila.